you shared yesterday on Twitter a graph of Leonardo DiCaprio's age and his girlfriend's ages. It went viral on the Data is Beautiful subreddit. Can you explain what that graph shows, please?
Yeah, so hopefully you'll be able to put it on the screen, but it basically shows, like, as Leonardo's age goes up linearly, the age of his mates stays roughly the same at about 25. It was down at around 18, 19 when he's a little bit younger, but it seems to be 25 that is his cutoff point. For the last maybe 9 or 10 girlfriends, it's been a consistent pattern.
They reach 25 and then he replaces them with another one.
Yeah, and it's sparked some wild discourse, online, and it's revealed a lot of kind of intrasexual competition and stuff like that. So you have some women talking about, saying, he's such a creep, he's old enough to be their father, which I think is interesting. Whenever women or people criticize a big age gap relationship, what they do is they leverage our incest disgust by saying things like, he's old enough to be her father. And, it's not related. There's no genetic link at all. It's not disgusting on that level, but they leverage that our intuitive feeling of incest disgust. But it's another comment I saw on this Leo age gap thing is, it's such a sign that he's immature and not able to attract women his own age. And any guy who does that is such a creep. And that's just so purely intrasexual competition. Of course, women over the age of 30 would still be interested in Leonardo DiCaprio. Like, that is no mystery. It's not exactly horrible for these women to be dating handsome, mega millionaire movie star Leonardo DiCaprio. It's not hell, right? Another interesting take I saw on it, which was a weird twist, is someone said, I think it's actually kind of nice that he knows he can't go beyond 25 with a woman, and but at least he's not taking away her fertile years. She still has chance to recover it. It would be worse if he pushed it all the way to 30 and then just cut and left, which you can kind of say, I don't know how intentional that is. That might be a charitable interpretation of Leo's behavior. But it's I put up the graph and said, if only we had a grand meta theory of human psychology and human nature to explain Leonardo DiCaprio's preference for beautiful, fertile young women. It's people getting very, very excited about this graph.
The interesting thing is, I didn't see any of the girls talk about this online, but it has to be a signal in the same way as one of the best ways to be attractive as a man is to walk into the club with a couple of girls on your arm that are both attractive and seem to give you attention. It has to be the case that somewhere deep in the programming of some women, they look at the fact that Leo is able to date a woman that's half his age and think, he's getting something right there. Now, this is not the sort of thing that would be very popular to post about online. The fact that you use the mate value of a man as a proxy for the man's mate value himself, especially as he gets older, which is something that is like completely irreversible, right? There's nothing that you can do about that. You can't lift your way out of being 53.
Yeah, absolutely. And they've done a lot of studies that show that mate value, or your sense of your own mate value, is a direct proxy for self-esteem, particularly for men. So I wouldn't be surprised that. And a lot of women in their mate preferences engage in mate copying, so mate choice copying. So if one woman it's like fashion almost. If one woman endorses a guy, he suddenly becomes, he must be all right. Someone vetted him. The example I use there is, what's his name, Phil Davison or Pete Davison.
Yes,
he's suddenly able to pull every smoking hot woman in Hollywood, like, all of a sudden, and it snowballs. And you might even notice, Chris, in your own life, that sometimes when you have a girlfriend, you seem to get a bit more attention. And I don't know, from other women, and I don't know whether it's because you're more relaxed and your guard is a bit more down, but some of it might be, someone has considered him high value enough. But so the commentator who put up about Leo, she actually made the opposite argument. And she said, I find it so hot when a man is dating an older woman who is very sophisticated, because it signals he's obviously smart. Whereas if he goes for the fertile young woman, it signals that he's he's not able to keep up with the intellectual life of the 40-year-old women.
I've got the tweet. I've got the tweet here. The whole DiCaprio thing reminds me one reason a guy might constantly choose much younger partners is because women his own age have higher standards. From an adult woman's point of view, when we see a man with a woman more or less his age or older, we know that guy is most likely great. Macron is probably the most extreme we know of. Every time I look at that guy, I'm thinking, oh my God, he must be fucking smart if that woman who could have picked from a 40-year age range thinks that he's the partner. That could not be more backward. That literally could not be more backward. How are you going to try and tell me that a woman that's 53 is going to have higher standards than a woman that is slap bang in the middle of her fertile years?
Yeah, there's a little bit wrong, and I did retweet it to try and maybe spark a bit of debate. And the woman who wrote the tweet, Anna Gatt, I actually really admire most of her Twitter content, and she runs a really cool organization called the Inter-Intellect, which puts on kind of intellectual salon type gatherings. So I don't mean to like dunk on her take, and it is interesting on one level, and maybe there is some truth to it, but yeah, it's missing that piece of, you know, I feel like maybe saying to her, your intersexual competition is showing. But you know, intersexual competition, particularly for women, is very hidden even to themselves.
Yes.
So you can't let it show. You can't really, it has to be all subtle, which is interesting. So she might not even actually perceive it as such.
Yeah, I think that the younger women versus older women thing it's a difficult area to get into, right? Like, especially with the world of red pill at the moment, age is one of those things that gets weaponized by the guys that are talking in that red pill space and never gets used as a tactic that men should take on in order to open up their dating opportunities, which just blows my mind. What's happening, people? If you enjoyed that, then press here for the full, unedited episode. And don't forget to subscribe. Peace.